and I sold all my stuff for a woman. She's no longer here. My ex-wife parents did not speak to me for 2 years. They just think that everything I say is just an excuse. Let me just say it straight out the way. I am no longer married, and I'm divorced. This is not what this video is about, but there's something that you guys need to know. When I met this woman and I told her about my Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, she hated it. She didn't like it. She said that, hey, you could do something better with your life. You should go back to school. So you know what I did back in 2016, 17, 16? I said, you know what? Maybe she's right. And you know what I did? I sold all my equipment. I sold my YouTube channel. I sold all my camera stuff. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it is time to move on. Maybe it's time for me to do something better with my life. Not knowing that at that time, what I had was very special. At that time, something that I chose to do, YouTube, I had something going on. Even though I had some drama and stuff going on before and I shut down my channel a few times, I had something that I completely gave up. I gave it up because someone said, hey, you know what? Maybe it is time to move on. You got to do something better with your life. There's got to be something more for your life. And I sold all my stuff for a woman. She's no longer here. And this problem persists.
That's crazy.
She told me at that time, hey, you want to meet my mother? You need a car. Because I didn't have a car at the time. I was doing YouTube. I was working from home. I didn't need to drive anywhere. Yes, YouTube is what I did for a living. It's how I paid my bills. And I was street performing also. How did I street perform? I just catch the bus 20 minutes down the street, played my horn, went home. I never needed a car. But when I met this woman, you have to go back to school. You have to exercise. You have to get your degree. You have to do something better with your life. Even though I explained to her, this is what I chose to do. A woman comes in your life and try to tell you the plan that you chose for your life is wrong. And out of love, I choose to say, you know what? Maybe she's right. And I took a chance. I took a chance. I said, you know what?
That's where you messed up.
I'm going to give this up completely. Like, for good. Sold the channel to Jobber. Sold all my stuff. Tried to go back to school multiple times. There's some... I don't want to say that I can't finish school. But it certainly feels like I can't. I don't know what it is. And every time I talk to people, they just think that everything I say is just an excuse. You are a grown man. You are an adult. You can do it. It's like no one can see it from my perspective. It's like I am always wrong. When I study, what I do? I fall asleep. What do they say? Hey, you're lazy. You're procrastinating. You're choosing not to do this. And I'm like, that's got to be something wrong with me. When it comes to school, studying, and staying on task and staying focused, I just can't do it.
I'm not mad at him for saying that at all. I think we tie school and intelligence too close together. Just because somebody's not good at studying is really remembering something. Like, I can learn something by experience. Some people can learn things by reading a book. They can remember everything they just read. But I'm a lot better at completing that task. Just because you can pass a paper test does not mean you're smarter than somebody that's actually good at life. Some people are just not good at school. And it's hard for me to say that because I'm a parent. And of course, I have to push school and stuff on my kids. But at the same token, I'm always thinking like, I know a lot of people that was great in school that suck at life. So I don't think that we can tie the intelligence of whether or not somebody is good at school, studying, social studies, science. If I'm not trying to be a scientist, if that's not what God blessed me with, why is my intelligence tied to whether or not I'm good at remembering stuff that has to do with science? Why is me remembering history have something to do with how intelligent I am? But I may be great with my hands. I may be great at critically thinking in real life. So I completely understand this brother when he says school just was not for him.
And I pay all this money, and I pay all this money, and I pay all this money, and I fail, and I fail, and I fail, and I fail.
Facts.
Music has always been there for me, and I've always been great at it. This is all tying together. I met the parents. They asked me, hey, what do you do for a living? I had to tell them I am a musician. I couldn't tell them I was a street musician. I am a musician. Then they said, hey, you have a degree? I said, I don't have a degree. My ex-wife parents did not speak to me for 2 years and told her not to marry me because I don't have a degree. What sense does that make?
They must have been
So
West
I give
Indian
up this
or something.
YouTube thing. I give up my entrepreneurial things. I try to do something that's
I'm West
not
Indian.
innately a part of my strengths at all because I'm thinking I'm in love to do something for somebody to prove something. And this continues on through the marriage. She says, hey, you need to find a hobby. I'm like, oh, let me play Yu-Gi-Oh again. So, last December, last year, I start my channel up again. I buy my channel back from Java. Like, oh, she gave me the okay to go into a hobby. You know what she said? You're spending too much time playing those cards. It's either the cards or me. She literally said that. I'm like, you just said I need a hobby, I get into a hobby, and now you said I'm doing it too much. What is it? What do I do? She says, why are you into those cards so much? I said, hey, I need to make a video about something. And I haven't played this card game for 2 years, on and off. How can I make a video for my subscribers about something I have no knowledge of? And I try to explain it to her, but she don't get it. She thinks it's just cards you pick up and you just play like Uno. It's not that way. Every 3 months, a new set come out, new stuff come out. I can't make a video about something if I don't know what it's about. I can't start my channel back up and just start making videos. I have to be in it. I have to learn about it and learn what's going on.
That's a fact. Even with me doing YouTube right now, like, and I'm really taking YouTube serious this time, I'm learning that it does take some homework. You do need to see what is the relevant videos, what is actually going on, what are the positions that people are taking on this. Find your position, take down notes, edit, create thumbnails. What are thumbnails that are working? Like, this stuff takes a lot of work. People think YouTube is just recording and then you post a video and it's good. No, you need to understand the algorithm, study your analytics. Like, there is a whole back office to creating content. He ignored the red flags. If a woman comes into your life and she tells you you need to stop doing something that is not hurting you, is not taken away from you, nobody should come into your life and tell you that you should just outright stop doing something. Unless it's hurting you, hurting other people, they shouldn't come into your life and just push their beliefs onto you, especially if we don't know each other. You don't get into a relationship with hopes that this person is going to change. You get into a relationship with hopes that this is who this person is going to be. A lot of people are getting in relationships with people for potential, so they get into the relationship and they're trying to change the person now. So now the person is unhappy because they feel like they're not fulfilling what they desire to do. Now, on the other side of the coin, if you're dating this person and they have non-negotiables to where it's detrimental to their health, to their safety, to your health, and it's just outright bad decisions, you need to make a decision on whether or not you even want to be with this person. But to get in a relationship with somebody and outright try to change them, they didn't introduce that they want to make this change, you're in the wrong. So in my opinion, he should have seen that in the beginning, that this woman doesn't accept me for me, because these are the things that I love to do. This is where my passion lies. He could have made more money in addition to doing what he's passionate about. And if the person that he's with doesn't accept that, he's with the wrong person.
She hated those cards. She literally cried because of those cards. And people say, hey, priorities, man. It's your wife, or, you know, you got to do what you got to do. But then I'll be back at that point where I'm giving up things that I like, things that's a part of my life, for someone else to feel happy. And I feel miserable in the process. I'm sitting there watching all these YouTubers come out and make videos and do all this stuff. They're traveling. I'm like, that's what I used to do. I love that. I miss that. Why can't she come along with my journey instead of scrutinizing me? And then that's money gone from me. It's not about the money, but that was money gone from me. Then street performing.
This is one of the problems that most men have when they're on the grind to getting to the top. I've never seen this brother's Yu-Gi-Oh page or anything like that, but let's just guess and say it didn't create a lavish lifestyle because he even said he didn't have a car. What if his page was already making $50,000 a month? He was paying her bills, he had a nice car and all that. Would it still be a problem? That's why a lot of men are apprehensive on dating women until they get to the top, because some women don't understand what it takes to get there. See, with him doing YouTube, there's no cap on his dollars as long as he grinds to that point that he wants to get to. With him going to college, there's going to be a cap on his dollars once he applies for a job. So a side hustle is only a play thing until it's a real thing, and then everybody respects it because they see the fruits of your labor finally showing. But by then, most men were looking at you like, well, you didn't trust the process back then. You didn't believe in me back then. Which is why I believe most men should have a side hustle or something that they're working on the side, and then something that's bringing in solid income as well. But you can't be mad that I have something I'm trying to grow on the side because you don't understand it. It might be tied to my passion. We done intertwined our lives, but our passions may be two different things.
Said to her, hey, I don't want to move away from Baltimore. You might be thinking, why? That's where my home base is. My gigs, my performances, everything. Keep in mind, I didn't have a job. Like, when I say I don't have a job, like a real job. A real job is like going in 9 to 5. I didn't have a real job for over 10 years. It was YouTube and playing my horn. That's how I paid all my bills. So when we got married and we moved out to Baltimore to somewhere else that I didn't want to be, she said, hey, how come you're not paying the bills? And I was like, what? I have a job. I have a 9 to 5 job. I don't make enough from this 9 to 5 job to pay all these bills. Before then,
facts,
I could street performing in YouTube. I made enough money off of that to pay the bills. Now I'm working 9 to 5 all day long, and that's not a complaint because there are people who do that. But I had something that most people wish they had. Most people wish they can go out, make some money, pay their bills, and have all day off. That was a gift. This is my life. You can't come into my life and dictate to me and tell me what's better for me because you don't see it from my perspective. And then get mad at me when I lose all of those things. I couldn't make videos when in the house. The only time I can make YouTube videos is when she's gone.
Bro, hell no, bro. Fellas, if you're in a relationship and you gotta hide what you doing, you should not be in that relationship. Unless it's hurting you or that person, you should not be having to hide what you're doing as a grown-ass man. You don't live with your mama. I'm pretty sure if you was making $100,000 a month from those things, she would not be complaining. She'll be in there like, yeah, get it, boo, do what you do. Like, bro, you should not be having to hide what you do.
And you might, I enjoy playing Yu-Gi-Oh. I enjoy being with my friends and doing those things. Even at this age, even 15 years later. I'm done.
That was a very vulnerable video, very real, very realistic. What I'll tell this brother is, you know what you did. You made the mistake of being with the wrong woman. And sometimes that's what it will cost you, being with the wrong person, man or woman. That's what it can cost you, your passion. It could cost you your future. This is why you have to be real with yourself in the beginning. When you start seeing those red flags, make sure you stay true to you. There's some non-negotiables that we have to have. If somebody else doesn't understand what you're doing, and again, and it's not hurting nobody, don't change it up for nobody. Somebody that's for you is going to support you. They're not going to try to change you. They're going to try to help you grow in that thing that you're actually good at, not tell you to be something that you're not. Everybody is not a college graduate. Most people that are college graduates don't even have success in the job field. This is not 1996 where you get a degree and you're doing good for yourself. I don't even know if it was like that back then, but it is not like that. I know so many. I went to college, graduated with people that are not doing good in life. This is real life. They still trying to figure it out. So stressing, use your degree, go to college, get a 9-to-5. Most people with 9-to-5 still can't afford their life. Most people with 9-to-5s hate their life. They have no time for family. So never knock a man that's trying to hustle, especially if he's able to hustle and pay his bills. Now, I think it's one thing to be said if a man is saying, oh, yeah, I'm trying to hustle and I'm dustling and all this, but y'all starving. The kids are starving. The lights is off. He don't have nothing. Now, that's different. But if the man is able to hustle and not have to work a 9-to-5 out of his talent and he's passionate about what he does, let that man do what he do. Let him do what he's doing if it's working. Because what he was doing before, a side hustle is scalable. For y'all don't know what scalable means, you can grow it. So let's just say he made $5,000 this month. If he fine tunes that, he can make $10,000 next month. Fine tune it a little bit more. 5 months from now, he could be making $50,000. You can't move that fast with a job. You can't move that fast with a job, with a 9-to-5. That's what people don't talk about. YouTube, there's some real money on here. And I'm not going to lie, I did not know it was this much money on here. Now that I've been taking YouTube a little bit more serious, I've been realizing, oh, look, these motherfuckers actually pay. So never knock a man just because he's not an astronaut or he's not a doctor. There's kids that's making more money than their teachers, their parents, and all the adults in their life by playing video games on YouTube. Look at Sinat is on the verge of making well over $1 million this month. All by live streaming and talking to people and having fun on camera. Because these things are not conventional jobs, people will downplay him. Like if Sinat walks in a room and he's dating a girl or whatever, and the parents say, hey, what do you do for a living? He said, oh, I'm a streamer. They're going to look at him like, what? You a streamer? Do you have a degree? Little do they know he a millionaire. Well in the millions. They took care of his mom, took care of his homies, all that. So don't downplay what it is to be a creative, what it is to be a content creator, because you didn't have that opportunity or you don't have that passion. Hey, man, it's been your boy Ty Boogie. Comment below. What do you think? Until next time, man, I'm out of here.